So we're in the Southeast, here in Metro Atlanta, and, weather's pretty temperate most of the year. What are some of the challenges you have with climate, weather, anything like that in your business?
Yeah, I mean, unlike Florida, the saturated markets, we're not a full year round. I mean, we stay busy year round, but obviously we close a couple hundred pools in the winter and slow down. So that creates its challenges as well, because again, back to the education part, you slow down, you've invested all this time and money into staff, and then in the wintertime, if you don't have work, you don't want to let them go, right? Because you've invested. I mean, training techs is not a cheap excursion to go down.
It costs a lot to hire somebody.
Yeah.
It really does.
So, that's what's really focused in the wintertime to make sure we're growing continuously and making sure we have work for the team, because, nobody wants to let go of that quality person in the wintertime. So we really focus on making sure, we have that growth and invest the time into them. Seasonality, pollen always sucks here in the South. We just went through that a few weeks ago.
Been doing that for about a month.
Yeah. So that's always interesting, but we don't get too cold down here as far as a ground freeze. So we don't have a ton of issues when it comes to wintertime. We had some pretty cold temps a few years ago, but those are very few and far between.
Hit or miss. Yep. Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, this time of year, I wish it could be 85 year round.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be beautiful.
I had a guy tell me one time, a customer tell me, he goes, but it does freeze somewhere we're at, right? And he said, we get ice storms here in Georgia. And he told me one time, he goes, my wife gets mad at me because when we have an ice storm, I open up the window. I said, in your house? He goes, yeah, my bedroom window. I said, why? He goes, when I hear those limbs snapping with the ice storms, I know that's money, because the pools are freezing too, and I'm going to get repair work. And I just shook my head. I was like, man, that's
like
one way to look at it, right?
High temperatures equal money.
Yeah. I want to hear a crazy story from Tim and the pool butler on.
I got a good one for you.
Yeah.
Back when I first started working in Atlanta, we were cleaning a pool over in Powder Springs. Insane house, compound, probably 15,000 square foot house. Big,
nice and small.
Yeah, lady lived there by herself, but she had a maid team, some cleaners or whatever. And I go there every week to clean the pool, and there's always a dog out there, a little 3-legged dog, always friendly, no issues. So I walk in the backyard, got my pole, net, all the equipment, and I see the dog come around the house. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I continue walking, and I hear a different bark on the other side of the house. I'm like, oh, shit. Like a deep bark. I'm like, this ain't good. So next thing I know, this Saint Bernard comes running around the side of the house and instantly triggers that 3-legged dog to become aggressive. And I've played with this dog numerous times. And as soon as he started barking, I was like, oh shit. So I started backing up and start screaming. I don't think I had a phone on. I didn't have a phone on me. And ultimately, they ended up backing me up into a treehouse. So I don't know, it's midday. I'm out there in a treehouse, right? Screaming at the top of my lungs for it seemed eternity. It was probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And the next thing you know, this little lady comes out of the back porch and she's like, oh my God, what's going on? I was like, the dogs are chasing me up here. I need you to get them. And she whistles, they run inside, and I continue to do my thing. But I don't think I've ever been that scared.
Cujo and the 3-legged dog ran Tim into the treehouse.
Yeah, I mean, I sat up there for a while screaming. And luckily someone was there, because if no one was home, I'd been up there for probably a few hours.
So dogs are coming, we go in the backyards. We got to be careful about closing gates behind us, right? Everything like that. Do you have a dog policy in your contract with somebody or something?
Yeah, so we try to make sure, get all that information up front, whether they've got an aggressive dog, the name of the dog, if it stays outside or if it has access in and out. So we try to capture all that information up front with the client. And we put the notes into our system, so when the tech, pulls up, they have an alert that says, hey, friendly dog, or you must knock on the door or something like that. So we try to input as much protection as possible. But there are times when the dog runs out there and Miss Jones didn't know. And
yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah. I've been chased by a few of them. Yeah. A lot of ankle biters.
Those are the bad ones, man.
Those are the worst ones.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. I think if you've been in this business any amount of time, you've all got your stories about something.